Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. I've been talking a lot about this game Devotion and how it's had a lot of controversy on Steam because of a Chinese meme that was in there. It was taking shots at Chinese politics. Talked a lot about that. However, now the horror game Devotion has been removed from Steam. The developers have sent out a statement. I want to take a look at their statement and give you another overall assessment of the situation and why I think that statement from Red Candles isn't all the reason the game has been removed. And also, speaking of all the crazy going-ons of China, Chinese social media has blocked the word Steam game. Yes, posts containing the word Steam game will not be sent out due to Chinese law, and an example was posted on Reddit, and I do want to take a look at that. Also, I saw a lot of you guys complain the other day when I looked at the Square Enix sale that Nier Automata was not on sale. Well, Nier Automata didn't go on sale because Square Enix was actually prepping the release of Nier Automata Game of the Yorha edition. It is out right now. It's released at a lower price than Nier Automata was, comes with some additional content. I want to take you guys through that and what you can expect out of the Game of the Yorha edition, my thoughts on Nier Automata, and whether or not you should pick it up because it's still at a hefty price. But we'll go over that at the end of this video. First up, as we've been talking about, Devotion, the Taiwanese horror game, has been removed from Steam. One of you guys hit me up on Twitter mentioning this, and this really shocked me. Devotion was a game that became one of the more popular games of the month. Like I said, when I covered this game a few days ago initially, there were 4,000 reviews posted for the game just after a few days, and it was sitting at an overwhelmingly positive Steam reception and 95% positive reviews. For a game to do that, especially a smaller budget game, a game that not a lot of people were looking forward to, and it's not a game that was just in the news, that's very, very impressive. It's one thing for a game like the Resident Evil 2 remake to get a overwhelmingly positive reception very quickly, just because gamers were very excited for that, and all credit due to that game. That game's terrific. But Devotion, on the other hand, is a game that not a lot of people knew about, and the people that did just happen to check it out really enjoyed it, and then it kind of just spread through word of mouth. Unfortunately, after everything went on, when players discovered the Winnie the Pooh meme, a lot of Chinese users took to the Steam reviews and reacted about the game, and then it dropped all the way from 95% overwhelmingly positive reviews. That was based on 4,000-ish reviews, and it fell all the way down to 40% mixed reviews, so 40% of the reviews are positive. That's far less than the initial 95%. It fell down to a mixed reception, and that was based off, I think, 12,000 and change reviews. Maybe it was approaching 13,000 reviews, around that ballpark. So you get the idea, it fell very quickly. And I was saying because of the Steam reception of the game, that is a very negative look on the game, just because if you're the kind of person you like to look through Steam games one by one and you just see a game with a mixed reception, a lot of people, whether this be right or wrong, are just going to look at that and be like, okay, on to the next game. They're not even going to look more into it because there's so many games on Steam and you can only invest so much time into a specific game. You just see the mixed reception and you're thinking, alright, on to the next one. Well, now Devotion has actually been removed from Steam. If you look up Devotion, I believe you'll find the soundtrack to the game, but the game is completely gone. And here's the statement Red Candle sent out on their decision. And I'm not really buying this statement, but let's look at it. Quote, due to technical issues that cause unexpected crashes and among other reasons, we are pulling Devotion off from the Steam store to have another complete QA check. At the same time, we'd like to take this opportunity to ease the heightened pressure in our community resulted from our previous art material incident. Our team would also review our game material, once again making sure there are no other unintended materials was inserted in. Hopefully this would help all audiences to focus on the game itself again once upon its return. Now, I have one question. Because Devotion has been removed from Steam, when it gets reposted onto Steam, is that going to do a reset on the Steam reviews? That's something I want to take a look at because that's actually a very, very good idea, and that's what I think they were going for in terms of pulling the game. The controversy is already out. What is pulling the game gonna do? The game is what it is. Are there really that many technical issues with the game? Based on the actual reviews I read about the game, that wasn't seemingly the case. Hell, even the negative reviews, a lot of them said, this is a good game, but I don't like the insertion of political memes in there. So to me, that just doesn't make a lot of sense. How this would make sense is, again, if the Steam reviews would be reset like that, but it's just an unfortunate scenario all around, because if that meme wasn't inserted, if this game was just allowed to be critiqued as is and fundamentally as a video game, it probably would have gained a lot of traction, and it probably would have been one of the sleeper hits of the year, and it would probably be a game that would create a lot of residual revenue for Red Candles, and a smaller studio like that, that is huge. And to go from one high of seeing how your game was received to another high of of it getting absolutely torn apart on Steam. Think about it from the standpoint of being Red Candles, being one of these indie game developers. How crappy of a feeling does that have to be? It's one thing when it's like a 4A game situation with Metro Exodus. Metro Exodus is a huge game. That game's gonna sell well regardless, and you're already getting the front end of revenue from Epic and whatever the case may be. For a Red Candles, where they put a lot of effort into this game, where it's really day by day and how these games turn out, and if they do have the monetary backing to actually put out games like this, for them, a game gaining traction like Devotion did, that's huge. And for the next day or a couple days later, it just falling apart on Steam. And I hope that Red Candles can turn this situation around, but it's just unfortunate for everyone involved. And speaking of everything that's going on in China, the word Steam game is now a banned word on Chinese social media. This is making the rounds on Reddit, and posts containing this word will not be sent out due to local law. Specifically, there was an image attached onto a Reddit post over at r/PC Gaming, where someone tried to make a social media post and then got sent back the message saying, sorry, there is a violation of relevant laws and regulations, and you can resend, edit, or delete. And that's just adding on to everything. It looks like Steam and China are not going to have all too great of a relationship going forward, and that's very unfortunate because every business wants to break into China, every business wants to have a good relationship with China, and for Steam and Valve, it looks like that's not going to be happening. Obviously, it makes a lot of sense in another regard because Tencent is a large owner of Epic, so yeah, you've got to keep that in mind as well, but I think there's going to be a lot of backlash coming at China with things like Devotion, with things like Steam game being banned. That's not a good look for anyone, but China's going to do what China's going to do. Lastly, I do want to quickly go over Nier Automata. This is a game that I noticed in my comment section when I talked about that recent Square Enix sale. A lot of you guys were disappointed that Nier Automata was one of those games that didn't go on sale. This game really doesn't go on sale all the time, even during a big summer or winter sale. Sometimes you'll see Nier Automata isn't even discounted, and if it is on sale, it'll be down to like $30, so still a very steep price point. But now we've got a new version of the game, Nier Automata Game of the Yorha Edition, and what's great about this is it's actually gotten its price reduced from $59.99. This edition is actually available for $39.99, and it's got a couple of bonuses in there as well. You've got some skins, I believe, some in-game weapons, nothing too substantial, nothing that's drastically changing your experience with Nier Automata, but the main thing to note is, yes, you get some extra bonuses, but the game's price is coming down, and now it'll be readily available all the time for $39.99. I believe there's also one piece of DLC that adds a couple more outfits and adds another song, but it's not like it's an integral component to the game, but it will come with the Game of the Yorha edition, and again, the best part about it is readily available for $39.99, meaning that one of those in-often times that Nier Automata does go on sale, you would think that it would be 50% off, and that would actually knock it down to $19.99 instead of $29.99. As far as Nier Automata, the game itself goes, it is excellent. I know it had some issues on PC for some people. I played through the entire thing, and I had a great time on PC playing that game at 4K with a GTX 1080, and it ran pretty well for me. I didn't have any crashes or anything crazy like that. Maybe I would get a stutter here or there, but nothing game breaking, and it was a perfectly suitable experience. The game looked great, it played great, the story's really interesting visually. Of course, it's on point there, and the music, how much good things can you say about the music? Nier Automata's music is absolutely excellent. The gameplay is stylish, and of course, as a Platinum Games title, you expect that fast-paced, action-oriented gameplay, and that's definitely there. So at the very least, add that game to your wishlist if you've been eyeing it for a while. Honestly, dropping $39.99 for it might not be a bad idea. It was going for $30 for a while. This version, again, comes with some additional content, and the one DLC pack alone goes for $9.99 on its own. So check out Nier Automata Game of the Yorha Edition. That is available right now, and again, it's available for $39.99. So good to see that game finally getting a price drop after nearly 2 years. Yeah, this game released all the way back in March of 2017, so one of those PC games that has really held up in value. And that's not necessarily always the case for Square Enix titles. We've seen Square Enix titles go on sale pretty quickly. You look at a Shadow of the Tomb Raider at Just Cause 4, those games are already on sale, but Nier Automata was a critical and commercial success, and people will still pay a hefty price for it, so you can see why this game would retain its value opposed to, say, a Shadow of the Tomb Raider or a Just Cause 4. The case of SOTR, that was a great game, just commercially was a flop. In the case of Just Cause 4, that was a flop in both regards. But that's gonna conclude this video. Again, let me know your thoughts on Devotion being removed from the Steam store and their statement on it. If this gives them a reset on the Steam reviews, I think that's a pretty big deal. I think some of you guys undermine the importance of Steam reviews because it's one of the main things that a lot of casual PC gamers look at right away when they're just browsing the PC store. And horror games definitely attract a more casual consumer, and if a casual consumer clicks on a game like Devotion, they see mixed reviews right away. A lot of them are just gonna move on to the next game, as wrong as you may perceive that to be. The word Steam game has been banned on Chinese social media. What do you guys think about that? And Nier Automata Game of the Yorha edition is out right now, so make sure to give that a look, add it to your wish list, whatever you want to do. And that's gonna conclude this video. If you guys have a request for a future video, leave it in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.